Forever to thee. The South Carolina men's basketball team is going to the Final Four. See how fans celebrated after the historic win at Madison Square Garden. Kelly family funeral. 4 victims of a Lexington County fire are being laid to rest today. We have the latest video from the funeral service. And Brush the Stress Away. A non-profit organization is helping active duty soldiers and veterans learn how to deal with stress.
It's as much healing for me as it is for everybody else.
All this and more here on Carolina News.
Live from the capital city, Carolina News brings you your news first. With breaking news and in-depth reporting. Up-to-the-minute weather. And all your sports news and highlights. It's all here, now, on Carolina News.
USC! USC! USC!
Our top story, Gamecock fans rejoice. The University of South Carolina celebrated its historic win against Florida last night at the Colonial Life Arena. Hello and welcome to Carolina News. I'm Michelle Zhu.
Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Robert McCachran. The University of South Carolina welcomed the men's basketball team back to Columbia last night after their historic win against the Florida Gators. The team has made it to the NCAA Final Four for the first time in Gamecock history.
We have team coverage of the Gamecocks' big win. Our Brian Principe and Nick Jones caught all of the action at Madison Square Garden in New York City last night.
In the East Regional, the South Carolina Gamecocks, not projected to win, obviously. But not only did they knock off the 2 seed, they knock off the 3 seed, and tonight they just knocked off the 4-seeded Florida Gators to win the East Regional, Nick, and head to Phoenix to play in the Final Four. Unbelievable.
Absolutely nuts. It was crazy, especially like at the early first half of the game. Florida was knocking down threes left and right, and that's what they've been known for all year. But in the second half, South Carolina's defense limited them to no three-pointers at all, which is crazy. And you know what they say, offense wins games, but defense wins championships.
Absolutely, and very reminiscent of that game earlier in the season at Colonial Life Arena where the Florida Gators did not hit 1 3-pointer. Second half, same story, and the Gamecocks run away 77-70 victory. And Sindarius Thornwall, after the game, very blunt with the championship net around his neck, saying, just happy to be here and continue on in this journey that the South Carolina Gamecocks have gone on.
I'm excited to be in the Final Four now. That's really it. You know, I'm excited to be in this situation, to still be able to play. You know, there's only 4 teams. Well, how many playing now? Because Kentucky and Duke still playing. But there's only a couple teams still playing, and we're one of them. And we're just blessed.
Feels amazing. I can't even describe it into words. We always believed, always had faith, and the funny thing is, it was deja vu. When we beat Florida at our home court, we was down by 7 at halftime. So when we came in at halftime, we just thought about that. We thought about the fact that the end result, we won that game, and we got to come out here and give it everything we have.
Well, Brian, there you have it. South Carolina will be going to the Final Four this weekend for the first time in program history to play Gonzaga.
Unbelievable. It has to just be so surreal for so many Gamecock fans and all the players and coaches to finally have a chance to make it to the Sweet 16, or to make it to the dance, rather, not even the Sweet 16, just the dance, to make the most of it here to get to the Final Four. Unbelievable. Nick and I will be out in Phoenix on Saturday to give you your coverage of the Gamecocks game against the Gonzaga Bulldogs. But before that, we'll have all of your reaction and lead up to that game on Carolina News throughout the week. For Nick Jones, I'm Brian Principe from Madison Square Garden, Carolina News.
While there was plenty of excitement in New York, Gamecock fans in Columbia were just as ecstatic about the win.
And our Terrence Singleton is in the newsroom with the latest on the celebrations that took place for the Gamecocks. Terrence?
Once the clock hit 000 at Madison Square Garden, the party began here in Columbia. Students and fans flooded 5 Point bars, the streets, and once again found their way back into the Thomas Cooper Fountain. Needless to say, the fans were excited to see their Gamecocks advance to the Final Four. This is what it looks like when your team goes to the Final Four. Fans gathered to watch the USC Gamecocks defeat the Florida Gators 77-70 in Madison Square Garden on Sunday. But here in Columbia, fans left the bars and took to the streets to celebrate.
I go to South Carolina and we're in the Final Four. Someone pinch me. Someone pinch me. Is this real?
It was the first time we went to the Sweet 16 and now we're in the Final Four. I am so happy. Go Cubs! Go Cubs!
After a quick dip in USC's Thomas Cooper Fountain, fans danced well into the night to welcome their Gamecocks back home.
Hey, man, from the bottom of our hearts, man, we just want to say thank you, and we love y'all. The support that we're seeing right now is unbelievable. We love y'all, too. From the people that are still in New York to the people that are here right now, y'all have been tremendous all season. Y'all have been tremendous all 4 years that I've been here. Go Cocks!
And Columbia native P.J. Dozier had one last message for the Gamecock fans.
Hey, one time. We need everybody to put your fours up. Put your fours up. Final four, baby. We on our way, Phoenix. We on our way, man. We appreciate y'all. Appreciate all the support. We love y'all. God bless.
The Gamecocks' Elite Eight victory has many people in the state pumped for a great Final Four. Even Clemson linebacker Ben Boulware sent out a tweet cheering on his home state Gamecocks. Later in the show in sports, we'll have more on the Gamecocks going to the Final Four. Back to you in the studio.
Fans have been cheering on the Gamecocks at home, but businesses around Columbia have been celebrating as well. Barefoot Campus Outfitters is one of the many stores running a sale on Gamecock apparel today. Fans have been rushing in since the start of March Madness to stock up on their Carolina gear. And as the team continues to the Final Four, retail manager Lindsay Hammer says Madness is just beginning.
If they win the whole thing, I mean, we're definitely going to have some sort of celebration in here. We pre-ordered championship shirts, so we're very confident. I hope they do it.
Hammer says they plan to continue to run sales if the women's team wins tonight against Florida State, and they expect big crowds all week.
Well, spring is officially underway, and with it brings warmer temperatures. Our weather reporter Eric Cirillo is outside on Green Street enjoying the warm weather.
That's right, we're kicking off our week on a great note. The sun is out, temperatures about the mid-70s. As you can see, people behind me having a great time outside. But clouds are going to start to roll in this evening, bringing in scattered showers tomorrow. But are these showers here to stay? I'll let you know coming up in my complete forecast.
The 4 members of the Kelly family that died in last week's house fire in Lexington are being laid to rest today. The funeral for the victims was held at the First Baptist Church in Casey, where a large group met to mourn the loss of the Kellys. Carolina News' Nathan Elliott spoke to a friend of the family. He now joined us in the newsroom. Nathan?
Yes, Robert, the mood was very somber in Casey today as people packed the pews of Trinity Baptist Church to mourn the loss of the Kellys. Today I managed to catch up with a friend of the Kelly family who told me her connection to the family and how she's been coping with disaster. Crowds from across the Midlands came today to remember the Kelly family and pay their respects in Casey. Scott and Mandy Kelly, along with their daughter Lizzie and toddler son Judah, have been laid to rest today at Trinity Baptist Church. Cheryl Freilich, a close family friend, says the church is helping each other in this time of need.
Just love on each other. And that's what this church has done all week, is just love on each other, which is what Scott and Mandy would want us to do.
Scott, Mandy, Lizzie, and Judah died in a house fire last week in Lexington, with only the family's 2 oldest children surviving. Freilich says she is focusing on remembering the family for who they were.
You know, you really can't focus on the how and the why of what happened, but focus on and have that mindset of focusing on the family, who they are, who they were, and who they're going to be forever.
Even though part of the family has been laid to rest today, Freilich says we can still learn from the Kellys.
If they were here right now, they would say, love each other well. There is not room for hate in this world. And they would tell us, this is not goodbye, this is, I'll see you later. That's what they would tell us.
Freilich, along with the church and the rest of the community, are coming together to help the survivors.
I don't want to think, I may never understand.
Nathan Elliott, Carolina News. And as I mentioned at the end there, the church and the local community are working to help out the survivors of the fire. If you would like to donate or volunteer, visit Trinity Baptist Church's website at www.tbccasey.com. Robert, Michelle, back to you.
A shooting in Ohio left one person dead and 15 others injured. Shots were fired early Sunday morning at the Cameo nightclub in Cincinnati. Though clubgoers are searched before entering the club, police say that several people were able to sneak in guns. One witness says they heard about 20 shots in the club. Police say that the shooting may be connected to a dispute earlier in the day. No one has been arrested in connection to the incident.
Richland County deputies say a suspect is now in custody after a shooting at the Columbia Place Mall late Sunday night. Deputies arrested James Parrish Jr. in connection to the shooting. Deputies say Parrish locked himself inside a store in the mall after several shots were fired into the direction of Sears. The standoff ended safely with no injuries reported around 2 a.m. Monday. Parrish was taken to the Richland Memorial Hospital with minor cuts. He faces numerous charges, including 6 counts of pointing and presenting a firearm and burglary.
One dog is safely back home after 2 men stole her and her siblings a few weeks ago. The thieves were caught on surveillance camera taking the pups. They were identified by the footage. Victor Galindo is out on bond, but authorities are still searching for Jose Reyes. Investigators say one of the thieves led them to one pup, Princess, who was stuffed inside a cardboard box in a park trash can. Princess was the only pup not sold, but authorities hope to recover the other 5. They are valued at about $400 each. Well, that is a sad story, but we can count that the puppies are, at least one has been rescued.
Yeah, definitely hope that these other 4 puppies can be given back to their owners.
Definitely.
Still to come on Carolina News.
A Midlands program helps veterans and active duty soldiers paint away the stress. We have more next.
Adopt a dog, adopt a big dog, unless you have a small apartment. But if you have a little grass, get off your ass. Adopt a dog, adopt a dog, adopt a big dog, and you will have a bigger friend. Adopt a dog, adopt a big dog, give him a home he can defend. Ooh.
Sir, do you have any idea how super cool you are?
Yeah.
Thanks. Can I have a picture of you for above my bed, please? It's a super cool picture, super cool. Here's your picture back. I don't deserve it. Also a short poem I wrote about you. So super cool.
If only everyone saw you the way your dog does.
Yeah, you're a good boy.
Columbia, many military families have made their home the Midlands. Soldiers take a vow to serve their country, but Jessica Jose shows you how a few vets are serving their very own military family.
The Big Red Barn is the home for much more than a few horses. Veteran Jim Duke says the focus is on 3 different forms of non-clinical therapy, including yoga, psychotherapy with horses, and healing art workshops.
The Big Red Barn is a nonprofit set up to provide alternative healing methods to veterans and their families, other than the standard take your meds, sit at home.
CAITLYN Rose is a helicopter pilot in the SC National Guard.
I've been using paint as a therapeutic tool.
This weekend, she took off her pilot hat and picked up a paintbrush, hoping vets can come in and use this workshop as a way to escape work for a few hours.
It's an opportunity to be creative. They get to leave work where everything is so structured and come here and have an opportunity to do something that they normally wouldn't do.
And escaping is just what military police officer Philip Tanner was able to do. This was his first time at the Big Red Barn, but it helps with
the de-stressing. It's this be able to leave work, come here, and just concentrate yourself and put something on a canvas, or just clear your mind of everything else. Because usually, especially with the military, you got so many things going on, and it's very difficult to bring that home with you.
Veterans and their friends and family can come to the Big Red Barn not just to paint, but to experience a different type of camaraderie outside of the field.
It's always go, 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 talk about work and everything. And when you get outside, you get to talk to people and see how they really are outside of uniform.
Outside of the uniform and inside of the barn, the participants aren't the only ones impacted.
It's as much healing for me as it is for everybody else.
And does Philip plan to come back?
Definitely.
Helping the military and their families brush away the stress of the field. Jessica HOSEY, Carolina News.
The next healing art class will be April 8th at 2 p.m. For more information about the other services provided, visit www.thebigredbarnretreat.org.
A new set of veterans were added to a prestigious list last Friday. The President celebrated Medal of Honor Day with more than 24 new recipients. President Trump said it was a great honor to share the room with these very brave honorees. There are now 75 living recipients. The President hopes to shine more light on the rarely celebrated story.
This month's unusually cold weather wiped out most of the peach farms across the state. Our reporter CAITLYN MATHIAS found out how freezing temperatures now can affect some of your summertime traditions.
Titan Farms in Ridge Spring, South Carolina is the second largest peach producer in the country. But on the morning of March 16th, temperatures dropped to a record low, destroying acres of peach buds.
So all of these, whether they were still in the shuck and had their jacket on them for protection or not, it was just too cold.
Chalmers Carr, president and CEO of Titan Farms, says the freeze was devastating.
When we woke up that morning, we saw temperatures of 17 to 21 degrees. Being in the business as long as I have, you knew that there was not much hope. In fact, I'm surprised that we have any peaches at all.
South Carolina peach farmers are facing the worst crop damage they've seen in over a decade. Here at Titan Farms, they're expecting to see a loss of 90% of their crop. And less peaches means less jobs.
Last year we employed 750 employees, full-time and seasonal workers. This year we'll employ less than 250. So the impact of this will reach way beyond just our farm. It'll go to the communities and it will go to the state.
South Carolina's Commissioner of Agriculture, Hugh Weathers, says the impacts of the freeze are far-reaching.
By the time those peaches are processed and delivered and the jobs associated with that, a normal crop has about a $300 million impact on our economy in rural South Carolina.
Retailers will also be affected. Lexington County store owner Tillman Mathias says going to other states for peaches will drive up prices for consumers.
Well, they're going to be real disappointed because most of them depend on that. That's sort of a tradition to carry peaches and tomatoes to the beach and on vacation every year. It's just going to be a disappointing year for everyone.
But there will be peaches, just not what you're used to.
Well, this summer when they buy peaches and they realize they're not from South Carolina, don't hold it against us if they don't taste as good as our peaches.
Farmers are remaining hopeful that some late crop peaches will survive to be harvested in August. And despite the loss, Carr says Titan Farms will be back next year.
We're resilient, so that's the part about it being a farmer, and we're optimistic. There's always next year, so to speak. And, you know, right now it's just getting over this and, again, making plans to how do we adjust for it.
CAITLYN MATHIAS, Carolina News.
Commissioner Weathers says it'll be a few more weeks until they know if the late crop varieties survived, and that the volume will be too small to ship out of state.
Our weather expert Eric CIRILLO is still outside on Green Street. It looks pretty nice out there, Eric.
That's right, it's still a beautiful day outside, but will you need a rain jacket? I'll let you know in my forecast coming up next.
Adopt a dog, adopt a big dog, unless you have a small apartment. But if you have a little grass, get off your ass. Adopt a dog, adopt a dog, adopt a big dog, and you will have a bigger friend. Adopt a dog, adopt a big dog, give him a home he can defend. Ooh.
Sir, do you have any idea how super cool you are?
Yeah, thanks.
Can I have a picture of you for above my bed, please? It's a super cool picture, super cool. Here's your picture back. I don't deserve it. Also a short poem I wrote about you. So super cool.
If only everyone saw you the way your dog does.
Yeah, you're a good boy.
Severe storms ripped across Louisiana over the weekend. One town in particular took some heavy damage. In Bienville Parish, Louisiana, a church was completely destroyed during the storms. Residents say the church was destroyed at about 12:30 a.m. when the storm worsened. Besides the church, there were several fallen branches and other minor damage around the rest of the town. No one was hurt during the storm, but the community is still cleaning the debris. Well, that looks pretty extreme. It looks like they have a lot to clean up, but I'm wondering what it looks like around here.
Yeah, well, luckily we don't have storms like that going on, which is always good, but we do have some coming up. Currently in Columbia, though, it is 81 degrees outside, partly cloudy, humidity is at about 44%, so it's a little warm, but it's not too bad. Winds southwest at 7 miles per hour, so keeping it pretty calm out there. If we take a look around the state, 75 up in Greenville, 76 in Rock Hill, 78 over in Florence, and then all along the coast, a little cooler, but still pretty warm, 72 Myrtle Beach, 75 Charleston, and 73 in Hilton Head. Now, if we take a look around the country, and 79 in Aiken. So look around the country, why is this going on? We have the storm system that's formed out, that's pushing our way. It's coming across, and so bringing us some storms along the way, warming up temperatures as well, but bringing storms our way, so we need to look out for that. But with those storms pushing, it's going to clear everything up in the west for a couple of days, bringing us some clearer skies. But that's not going to last very long either, though, because we do have another weather system forming out in the west that's pushing our way, and it's coming pretty fast. So by Thursday, Friday, we're going to have some storms and possible thunderstorms as well. Around the state, so looking at tonight's lows, 62 in Columbia, 59 in the upstate, 59 in Florence, and then all along the coast, again, a little cooler, 60 in Myrtle Beach, 61 Charleston, and in Hilton Head. Looking at tomorrow's highs, 82 in Columbia, not close to that record high, but a little warmer than today. 78 in Greenville, 78 in Rock Hill, and then along the coast again, Myrtle Beach 74, 78 in Charleston, and 76 in Hilton Head. Looking at that 5-day forecast, 30% chance of rain tomorrow like we were talking about. That'll be here in the morning, but it'll give way. Wednesday is sunny. Thursday, a little cloudy. Weather temperatures are going to drop, and then showers on Friday, setting us up for a nice weekend ahead and a beautiful Saturday at a nice 75. So it's going to be a little rough a couple days, but by the weekend, it should be pretty nice.
Really looking forward to that warm weather we're about to see coming up this weekend.
Absolutely. Good pool day. So.
But I'll be sure to grab my rain jacket for that Friday.
There you go. Be prepared.
We've all heard about the Gamecocks' big win against the Florida Gators last night, but we'll tell you how they won coming up next.
Are you getting this, honey?
Oh, prime time. We are rolling.
All right, Mama's gonna bring it home. Mama's gonna bring it home. Okay.
Come on, watch this guy.
Oh, backwards.
Oh, don't. Okay.
It went into Bob and Carol's yard. Oh, no? Okay,
Yeah.
here it comes.
Oh, no!
Challenge your kids to be active and eat healthy.
All right, let's see what you can do. Let's go.
They might surprise you.
Let's go.
Search We Can for more ideas on how you and your kids can get healthy together.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. But it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
It's a great day to be a Gamecock. The University of South Carolina men's basketball team has been the Cinderella story of March Madness, right, Kelsey?
That's right, Robert. The men's team has been nothing but exciting to watch this tournament. The Gamecocks had a battle last night against the Florida Gators. Dozier passes outside the arc. Notice dishes it to Thornwell. He posts up underneath and lays it in to go up by 2. Emotions are running high. Chiduzio for the Gators drives to the basket and is stripped. Dozier lofts it down the court to Notice. Notice with the one-hand jam. Carolina with the lead, 77-70. And that's the final. The Gamecocks are moving on to the Final Four, and Thornwell says his team is ready to compete.
Yeah, we're not, going to settle for this. We still feel like we got one more game. We're not going to that game, thinking we still going to that game thinking we can win. Why not us? Why not go win it all? And that's our mindset. And we feel like we can compete with anybody right now in the country.
Gamecock fans celebrated the Elite Eight victory all day and night on Sunday. The capital city was electric, but these fans aren't done yet as they prepare for their Gamecocks to take on Gonzaga this coming Saturday. We'll see you in Phoenix. The men's basketball team isn't the only one on a roll. Fresh off his 5th place finish at the National Indoor Championship, junior All-American Joshua Awatunde continued his success by throwing his personal best and leading the nation in the shot put to beat all other collegiate competitors. Awatunde spoke about what pushed him to be the best at this meet.
I had a professional athlete out here pushing me after his first throw. He said, "Yo, man, these people are here to see a show." He said, "They're here to see a show." And then he was getting me hyped the whole time because he was beating me so bad. I was like, Jesus Christ. And I just wanted to come out here and relax, just have a normal day. And that guy got me going. I said, man, this is my house. I do work hard here. I can't let this guy come out here and just sweep me off the face of winning the competition. So.
Moving on to the University of South Carolina men's tennis team, pulling out a nail-biter on Sunday. The men's team continued their success with an upset against the number 23 Kentucky Wildcats. Harrison O'Keefe clinches to win the match 4-3. The Gamecocks have been on a roll with 4 straight SEC wins. This win takes them to an overall record of 16-4 and a record of 5-2 in the Southeastern Conference. The Gamecocks will be hitting the road for 3 straight SEC matches and will be taking on the Alabama Crimson Tide April 1st in Tuscaloosa. So I really hope the Gamecocks can keep up all these great wins.
It's an exciting time for the Gamecocks, getting victories left and right.
Yeah, you got to hope the women can continue that streak tonight as well and try to get to the Final Four and join the men's team.
We can look forward to that, hopefully.
Gamecocks fans came together to send a special person to the Final Four. Find out who it is next.
My little girl loves to play outdoors. It's just too hard to keep her inside. I really don't have enough time to play with her, and she cries if I don't let her out. She does bring home some disgusting things. I don't know what she gets up to while she's gone, but she always comes back.
You wouldn't treat your child this way. Why is it okay for your cat? Please, be responsible. Keep your cat indoors.
Start a story. Adopt at theshelterpetproject.org.
Looks like it's done.
Don't let salmonella get funky with your chicken. On average, 1 in 6 Americans will get a foodborne illness this year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So learn the right temperature to cook each type of meat. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
One superfan has been there for the men's basketball team through thick and thin. Now students at the University of South Carolina are stepping up to keep his tradition going strong. Gamecock fans have raised over $4,000 to send Gamecock Jesus to Phoenix to see the USC men's basketball team play in the Final Four. University of South Carolina student Michael Murtaugh created a GoFundMe campaign early Sunday evening following USC's historic win at Madison Square Garden. Gamecock Jesus is known for his unmatchable energy at every basketball game. More than 280 people donated to exceed the $3,500 goal. What a fun time for Gamecock Jesus. I'm so glad he could actually go.
I just remember being at all the games and seeing him just raising the atmosphere to the level of the game every game.
Yeah, me too.
What a time to be alive. Take a look at that 5-day forecast one more time. 30% chance of rain tomorrow. Clouds will clear up on Wednesday and then bring in some storms in at the end of the week. So look out for that. Keep your jackets.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for being with us. We'll see you tomorrow.
Have a great evening.